Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the 7th day comic book news recap video. I'd say that in the same tone every time, but it's,
Yeah, you should
how
be
I
like,
speak.
You should be like,
I gotta work on my introduction.
Hi, I'm Adam from Geek Rest, and this is the 7th day comic book news recap, and I'm here with my co-host Aaron Holland from A Comic Shop.
Man, you just put me, damn, overshadowed me. Weekly comic book news, that's what we're talking about here, and pop culture news, relevancy, Star Wars. We're just kicking off with Star Wars.
Yeah, that's everything. Everything you just said is Star Wars.
It's Star Wars. The big announcement, J.J. Abrams directing all this crap, standalone movies. Disney announced basically a day after all the rumors blew up that they're going to be releasing standalone movies based on the characters.
Of course.
More movies.
Yeah.
Outside of the new trilogy.
When it was first announced that DC bought them, I said, finally, I'm going to get a Boba Fett solo movie. I said that. And, I started campaigning for that. Like, I want a Boba Fett solo movie in the vein of, like, Judge Dredd. I want a movie with Boba Fett where he never takes his mask off for the whole freaking movie.
Right.
He's
they kind of had the no mask. He wore his mask. You've never seen his face.
No, but you saw
Except for
Django and all that stuff. I want to get away from the Django stuff and get more to the Empire, Return of the Jedi and Boba Fett. And, that way you could have, like, some big action star play him. And it's like, he doesn't look like the Clone War and stuff. It's like, he didn't take his mask off. It doesn't matter.
Jason Statham.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Boba Fett crank, man. It's a transporter,
That's perfect.
He's transporting people frozen in carbonite. He's a transporter.
All before Return of the Jedi, obviously. But, Han Solo. Han Solo movie. This is what they're pushing out there. That's cool. I mean, clearly it starts... You love it, you hate it. Well, no one's going to know until you see it on the screen, but...
There's plenty of story
it's ambitious.
that anyone that likes Star Wars would be titillated and wanting to see. Right. Like there's the life debt that Chewie owes Han. I want to see that. Yep. I want to see that on the screen. I don't want to just read in a book or see in a comic. I want to see that on a screen. I want to see him and Lando, playing cards and him winning the Falcon. Right. I want to see him losing his crap and dumping his smuggling stuff because he saw the Empire. And I want to see, I want to see a young, cocky Han Solo just, and then when he gets a Wookiee bodyguard owing him a life debt, how much more cocky he's going to be. Because we saw his pride come before his fall, and I want to see the cocky pride stuff.
There's a lot of stuff there. And they could bring back, Darth Vader and, like you said, Jabba. I mean,
and to me, and we can even have some Greedo. Like the only thing we saw with Greedo was him getting shot.
We'll fire the shot first.
But who they cast as Han Solo is very integral to me accepting it. I'm not of that camp that only Harrison Ford could be a Han Solo because he's an old man. Sure, he was a great swashbuckling,
But this is even better, I think, if they use Harrison Ford as like a framing, device.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's in a bar or something, like the cantina, and then the flashbacks start. Then the movie begins. Use him as, put that little flavor in there.
Like How I Met Your Mother?
There you go. How I Met Han.
Like Han's talking like How I Met Chewie. How I Met Your Uncle Chewie.
That's cool. That's. I mean, they got stuff to work here.
They can do a lot of cool stuff.
I'd rather see Harrison Ford for like a minute and then the story begins rather than see him try to play out.
Absolutely, because this is young Han Solo.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I can see Ryan Gosling. I want it. I don't know. You ever see? I'll post a link to it. But there was like a mock-up trailer someone did where it was like Drive, his movie Drive, and he was like Han Solo, and they lived all the audio. Dude, I don't know. I can see it. That's my boat. And in comic books, of course, a couple teasers were thrown out there. Nothing much because we already know these events are coming. But there was the Age of Ultron teaser, which showed a whole bunch of characters, Cap, Hulk, Thing, but all battle scarred. Cyclops.
Swiss cheese thing.
Yeah, people burn. They're all
and Cyclops
pot marks
literally
on them.
with only one eye.
Yeah,
and
a cybernetic arm.
Yeah, and
Cap's
it's like he was becoming Cable, like he's missing an arm and missing an eye.
And Nathan in there.
And then Cable was Cap, and it was just weird. I
Fury patch and. Wolverine's got the black and the gold,
Black and
tan,
Decker.
brown. Oh, yeah, Black and Decker suit.
Oh man,
who knows what? I mean, it's to keep you interested. The Captain Marvel's a totally different character. It's not, Carol Danvers. I don't think so in the teaser. It wasn't her.
I saw Dazzler on it.
Dazzler?
Yeah, maybe Dazzler was dressed up as Captain Marvel. Here's my thing though, is like you have to that's issue 7. And we have to have issue 1 be something completely kick-ass. We can't just be titillated with like, well, issue 7, look how crazy it is. Issue 1 needs to hit hard. And they sent me the cover. Did I show you that? They sent me the gold.
You got the gold one?
The gold foil
that
embossed cover. Just the cover though.
Yeah.
Just the cover. Say, look, retailers, it's cover. It's gold. And I'm like, what? It's not cash for gold. I mean, come on.
Boosted gold. Sorry.
Anyway,
It looks exciting.
it looks cool. It's going to be drawn well, and it's Bendis, so
Right.
you know, and some people are looking for something that can be standalone. I mean, yeah, it does have a lot of those weird tie-ins that are all coming, but you know,
I think it's smart. I mean, I'm curious how much of the material they're using was written before AVX.
yeah, and
Because it
before
was
Marvel
planned
now,
before that,
obviously.
yeah.
And like, how's that going to jive to significantly change things?
Right.
Unless it's going to sync up at something when it's over.
That's what I'm
with
thinking.
it. So,
They're smart enough to sync things up later, but Ultron. It
Yeah.
looks cool. It looks cool, but you know, number 7 is what you're looking at. The Iron Man teaser. This is the baby sitting on the floor with an Iron Man helmet on his head. Apparently, it's a little baby Tony Stark.
did he clone himself, like a new self that doesn't have the faulty heart?
Secret origin. It's
Yeah.
gonna go back into his origin, change some elements around.
The Ultimate Iron Man by Scott Card,
Cool.
it had the
I like Ultimate Iron Man.
it had his origin as a baby, and
Yeah.
that his dad did like testing on him in his mother's womb, and
Yeah.
he came out all blue like a Smurf. And
Yeah, well, apparently there are gonna be a lot of flashbacks. You know,
maybe
to
his father messed with him when he was a baby.
Coulda. Maybe Tony Stark's got an illegitimate child. That's what I want, but I know it's not gonna happen. But
Tony
I see
Stark probably
babies.
has a vasectomy. I mean, honestly,
dude,
he's a futurist.
he's smart enough.
He's not someone that doesn't plan ahead. He's a futurist. He probably has. Tony Stark has a vasectomy. I'm putting money on that.
Yeah, that just wrapped up all the plot lines that you thought might happen. No,
But like Wolverine can't get a vasectomy because his body would heal it.
dude, that guy's messed up. That
That's why
sucks.
he has all these offspring. 'Cause
Dawkinson, you know,
he-
shouldn't have been.
Wolverine
but
cannot get a vasectomy. It would heal itself.
This is a whole other video.
All
that
right,
we need to discuss
moving
that.
on.
But the big thing I wanted to mention with that is Greg Land is not on the solicitation, and a lot of people have been divided about Greg Land because, artists I should say have been divided. 'Cause
Right.
It's good looking art, but you know, I don't know what to say about Greg Land. I don't want to like pick sides so much, but I can understand.
The sequential. Some people complain to me about that. There's weakness in the sequential storytelling because
Yeah.
it's a lot more pin-uppy or whatnot. And
Yeah, and-
he does some good covers. He does some great covers, and you know that's wonderful. But I do have fans complaining to me because I'm the shopkeep about that, and it's like, look,
You know,
he is a big name artist, and he's not everyone's cup of tea. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that.
Who
We'll
knows he's off? If he's on, Marvel now's they shuffle their artists, rotating teams like a revolving
Right,
door.
because
so
they
who
want to
knows?
have 2 issues of their best-selling stuff out a month, and most artists can't. I would say almost no artist can do a whole year, 12 issues. They
Yeah.
can't do monthly in that way.
Except for Snyder, maybe.
No, I'm not artists.
Oh, artist, yeah.
You know, so
I just had to
if they
plug
want
Snyder.
twice a month, if they want twice a month, then they definitely have to have rotating teams.
Right.
So
Who knows? We'll see. But Secret Origin and DC announced. Well, they released this teaser for The Movement and The Green Team. These are 2 books that are going to work in tandem.
And don't think green has to do with Green Swamp Thing or our conservative, conservation
No.
or environmentalism.
No.
It doesn't. It's about the money.
Is the money. This is going to be like an Occupy Wall Street theme. Gail Simone is on The Movement, which is the 99% book. The Green Team, obviously the 1%. Not too much has been revealed, but they're going to explore those themes, and that's cool. It's a gamble, kind of,
Yeah.
for DC.
But it has a purpose. It has a reason for being,
Yeah.
and they need to put out 52 books a month. They've made that commitment, and
Right.
and we'll get into that. They canceled a whole slew of books.
Yeah.
So they need some books. My opinion is every time DC's tried to do politics, other than just an individual character having a leaning like Oliver, or Ollie.
Green Arrow works with politics.
When they've done it most recently with Willingham and Decisions, is it just they endorse political candidates or they have political, the politics of like the president and the congressman and
The actual
whatnot,
figures.
and that's just not that exciting to me. And plus, everyone's very polarized on that, and it's like, well, I'm not a liberal or I am a conservative. And with this, it's like there's a lot of people out there that don't identify with either of those things. They're like, dude, I'm not gonna go camp in a tent and sit on occupy something. I got a freaking job. I'm not gonna occupy anything. I'm gonna occupy my house
Worry about my
and
job.
read some damn comics. That's what I'm gonna occupy. And then like, who's out there saying like, oh, I love that 1%, man. Keep oppressing me, but they're interesting escapisms. So these things can be voyeuristically interesting and relevant to our times without being political in that people identify their personal politics with the books,
Right.
which I think is the problem when you have this escapist fantasy world like the DC universe.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will be an infusion of political themes that are relevant themes, like how Marvel does so well with Civil War and
Marvel
Secret
does
Invasion and different
fantastic
things like
with
that.
those.
Hopefully that's what this will be.
Yeah, I mean, DC's will hopefully learn their lessons from past political books, but like you just brought up Marvel, I don't know. I think Marvel's characters lend themselves more to political themes. Like they can work. Like a lot of these characters were born out of the Cold War era, and they used them well. With in comparison to DC, I feel like Marvel's characters are rooted in more.
We're born out of that social movement of
Yeah.
the 60s and 70s,
Right.
With civil rights
Yeah.
and all of that relevant stuff, and fear of nuclear proliferation. How many characters' origins were because of some type of industrial accident?
Right.
And that was relevant at that time, and then they just kept modernizing, where DC was like these mythic things.
Right.
I mean, someone explained, I don't know if it was Quesada, the difference was DC is Elvis Presley and they're the Beatles. And the Beatles have a lot of different sounds. They evolved over their time, and
Right.
and the Beatles are more elastic.
Yeah.
And no one's saying Elvis Presley's not an icon. Everyone says he's an icon, but he's kind of one note.
That's an interesting analogy. That's interesting, yeah. So, that's cool. So, we'll see what happens with that. I kind of just want to see the 99% flip the Batmobile in the street. And
Oh,
just
that would be
riot.
awesome.
That's just cool. That's cool imagery right there.